AI system. And these words we're hearing more and more and more every day. I suppose in this last 3 years, because of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we're hearing about blockchain, we're hearing about AI, we're hearing about decentralization, and we're hearing about crowdfunding. And what we have here is we have these all brought together in the Daisy project. And it was this lady's dream, maybe 20 years ago, to create Daisy. And she's very, very intelligent, very, very smart. When she was just 20 years old, she solved this algorithm that hadn't been solved for 37 years. She's amazing. She has a PhD in artificial intelligence. And she has this deep machine learning that she can code. She has scientists, mathematicians, traders, and they write this code or this algorithm that generally APIs into an exchange like Binance, or into an exchange. In the United States, they've won, Gemini is a massive exchange that she would attach her algorithms to your cryptocurrency account, and she would trade it for you. And she's been very, very successful. Now, at the beginning of her career, she did Forex, foreign exchange, and she's very successful there. But in 2018, then she moved to the cryptocurrency world. She has not very many customers. She has approximately 150 customers, but these are big customers. These are banks. These are pension funds, institutions. Yeah, she deals with big clients, and not very often with small clients like us, because in the world of trading, she needs accounts with $1 million in it to even start. She needs $1 million, and most people don't have $1 million. So that's why it's always kept for the rich people. It's always for the banks and the wealthy people. But a friend of mine, Jeremy Roma, and another guy called Edward, they approached her about bringing her product to the world, allow everybody to benefit. You see, she makes millionaires billionaires, but she doesn't help the little people. And Jeremy approached her about bringing her product to everybody, to the whole world, and she couldn't do that. She said, too many customers, my company can't deal with so many clients. I don't have enough customer support. I wouldn't have enough, it costs her as much to put $100 into the marketplace as it does 100,000. It's the same effort to find the right point in the trading strategy to place the money into the market. It takes the same effort, and she couldn't deal with 10,000 customers or 100,000 customers. So for that reason, they decided to create this unique opportunity called crowdfunding, that we all can participate in one account. We all have one big account. And what that means is somebody can start with as little as $100. So you might put in 100, I might put in 1,000, somebody might put in 200, another person might put in 100. And collectively, we can build one big, massive account called the Daisy Crowd Fund. This was the way she could deal with only one account instead of 10,000 people, if that makes sense. So we are a crowd, we are a community, and we all can join together with one big account. Now, if you're looking at this company called Endotech, I never heard of them 10 weeks ago. I never heard of them. So I went to the internet and started searching, who is Endotech? And I started asking questions, and I found them on Gemini's website. Now, Gemini is the Winklevoss twins, the two brothers. These guys are billionaires. And the Winklevoss twins were at the beginning of Facebook. They were at the beginning of Bitcoin. And the Winklevoss twins bought $11 million of Bitcoin in 2013. Now think about that. They bought $11 million of Bitcoin in 2013. What did Elon Musk do last week? He bought 1.5 billion last week, but the Winklevoss twins who own this site, they had the vision way back at the beginning. Now, when you go to the Winklevoss website and you scroll across to institutions and then scroll downwards, you will see Endotech. And when Endotech is on their website, that means they're endorsing them. They are happy to promote Endotech, and that's the exact same company we are happy to promote. And when you click on the Endotech link on Gemini.com, it pulls you over. It's a hyperlink. It's not an advertisement. It's hyperlinked into their software that pulls you over to Endotech's website. So the Winklevoss twins are saying to their clients, if you want a good partner in fintech, why not try Endotech? This is a full endorsement, which is amazing. Now then I contacted one of my friends, and my friend has an account with Endotech, nothing to do with Daisy, nothing to do. He's had this account before Daisy, and he let me log in. Well, he didn't. He shared his screen and he logged in. So I don't know the password to the account, but he allowed me inside. And we looked around his back office of Endotech, and they have about, I think, more than 40 different strategies, different algorithms. And there's a variety of algorithms to suit different customers, to suit your level of risk, to suit the size of the account, to suit the term. How long do you want your money working? So normally you would speak to Endotech and select an appropriate algorithm to work on your account. Now, John's account made about 300% in 70 days. And now I can see, wow, I have a reference from outside Daisy that number one, they're on Gemini. Number two, my friend John has an account and it's working very, very well. So I decided to get started in Daisy, and I went in at tier 10. Now, the new people might not know what tier 10 is, but it's a level of contribution. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, right up to tier 10. So I made a contribution last month for a tier 10 contribution. And they started putting the money into the trades on the 26th of January. Okay? Now, they didn't put all the money in because there's certain points where you enter the market. There's timing involved. It's strategic placement of funds into the market. They don't just put 25 million into the market because everybody else can see that and they can short them. So it's strategically entering into the market, started on the 26th of January. On the 1st of February, then they started putting more of the Daisy fund into the market. So this is my account. And you can see on the 4th of February, bottom right, that I had earned $1,861 passive. And passive means I don't have to work, I don't have to do webinars, I don't have to talk to anybody, I don't need to do meetings, I don't need to introduce anybody, I don't pay any rent or rates or insurance, or it's a passive opportunity that makes me money without doing anything. So in day 4 of Daisy, I earned $1,861. The next day, look at the bottom, the 5th of February, my account grew up to $2,500. $2,500 the next day. So I made about $700 doing nothing. The next day, on the 6th of February, my account grew to $4,500. So 6 days, $4,500 profit. The next day, I didn't take a screenshot. I was busy. But on the 8th of February, have a look, on the 8th of February, my account grew to $8,000. $8,000 in 8 days. That means I'm making $1,000 a day, not even working, passive trading rewards. The next day, on the 9th of February, last week, my account grew to $10,970. $10,970. Now that was at 3 p.m. 3 p.m., 1,500 hours. Before I went to bed, I went back and looked at my account, and it went from 10,900 to 11,800 So 9 days, $11,000. The next day, it grew to $12,500. The next day, it grew to $13,000. Now, I haven't been on today to do another screenshot, but it's growing, it's working, and it's honest. You see, we've been in programs that have worked, but sometimes when you wake up in the morning, the screen goes 404. The owners have run away with the money. There is no trading. What we have here is an honest company with real trading, and this will be documented by KPMG. KPMG, the world's top 4 accountancy firms, will go in at the end of February and they will verify every trade. Win, 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 lose. Win, lose, 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 win, lose, win. They will stamp, these results are real. Now, when you make a tier 10 contribution like I did, it means I don't have to work anymore. Because if I get $1,000 a day, that's $365,000 a year. I don't have to work anymore. But I don't expect her to win every day. I don't expect her to win every day. If she wins for 300 days and loses 65 days, I still make $300,000. So people need to think, how can I go tier 10? How can I? Some people cannot afford it. I appreciate that. But there's another way. There's another way to get to tier 10. Because if you haven't got the money, you have the people. If you haven't got the money, you can get the people. Because there's only 2 ways you can make money in this world. Your money makes you money, like this, or other people make you money. So when we think about that concept, Richard Branson, how many airplanes does Richard Branson fly? If he has a license, he can only fly 1 airplane. So he needs lots of pilots to fly those airplanes. And same with you and Daisy. If you don't have the money, we can build a team and help other people, and that will give you the profit you need to upgrade to tier 10 over time. It's just I could afford it. Not everybody can afford it. Now, I have a strategy with some of my friends, and this happened for Jeremy Roma. Jeremy Roma didn't put in tier 10. He didn't have $100,000. So he partnered with Raghu Gary, and they both put in $50,000 and made a partnership. Kevin Latmore did not put in $100,000. He didn't have it. He partnered with his friend, John Hammock, and they went 50-50. They made a joint position. I did it myself. I don't need a partner. There's lots of people, maybe 5 people, putting $20,000 and making a syndicate to get tier 10 and sharing it. That's one way. Or 20 people with $5,000 each. That will get you to tier 10, because that's what we all want. Everybody wants passive trading rewards. We don't want to work, really. If we can make the money, we don't want to work. That's what people have in their mind. And when you bring it down to tier 9 accounts, tier 7 accounts, tier 5, tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, they're all making money together, just like this. But I've got 70% trading, not 50%. Can you see this is my account? I have $69,000 trading, and I've got, that 69,000 is now 82,000. If you go over to this side, this is the total of the Daisy fund. Daisy took in $50 million in the first 4 days. 50% approximately goes to the trading. That's $25 million. So Daisy trading has made nearly $5 million in the first 11 days. So this was our soft launch. We soft launched. And the problem was that the Daisy trading is working perfectly. But the interface between the trading of Endotech and the smart contract could not cope with 50,000 people registering in 4 days. The smart contract timed out because it was calculating too many calculations. So they had to close the soft launch, do some fixing, and now we're going into pre-launch next week. So now people can start getting ready to get started again. And once you do tier 10, once you make tier 10, you become a VIP. I am now a VIP client of Endotech. What does this mean? This means Endotech will trade my Binance account or my Gemini account without giving any money to the Daisy crowd. Okay? So she will trade 100% of my money now in my Binance wallet. I have control. I can take it out. I can do anything. She APIs into my Binance account. So now I'm making money with Endotech. And before Daisy, I couldn't do that. I needed $1 million. You need to put in $1 million. Nobody will start at $1 million. You can start with $100 and make your way to tier 10 and then get the benefit of proper institutional trading. And this is one of the advantages of Daisy. Now, the roadmap is very simple. About 2012, she started the Endotech name, the Endotech brand. She was working for clients like banks, pensions, institutions, and she was designing algorithms for these clients. And in 2018, she started to get into the cryptocurrency world because she was doing with foreign exchange up until that point. Last November, she had her company valued. Endotech is already worth $100 million. It's already worth $100 million. And the 4 founders of the Daisy crowd fund, they did a deal with Dr. Anna Becker, and they give us a great deal that she will give this community 10% of Endotech valuation when it goes to the stock market. So it's her goal to do it in 10 years. 2012 until 2022 is about 10 years. It's not a new company going to the stock market. It's a company with a track record, with history, with experience. Endotech have $1 billion under management. And it's their goal for the Daisy crowd fund to do half of that, 500 million. Now, she did not believe that we, our industry, can bring so many people, so much funding to a project. She probably thought, these guys will take 5 years to do this. And in 4 days, we bring in $50 million, 10% of the fund. And that's why Daisy has stopped right now, because they realize maybe before the end of this year, we need a new Daisy fund, maybe Forex or precious metals, gold, silver, or commodities. So now they're doing the work so that when the Daisy fund completes, they're able to plug in a new opportunity for the new customers. Because once we have 500 million, nobody else can join this. Nobody else can join this. So that you are very special people, because you can get in now to enjoy these rewards and to get 10% of the company. This is the Daisy fund. It's amazing. So how do you get connected? Simple. It's free. You go to the Apple Store or to Google Play. You download the Tron Link wallet. It's called a dApps application, a decentralized application. It's got a browser inside it. Or you can go to Google. I went to Google. I typed in Tron Link Chrome extension, because now I have it on my computer. And I've got a little wallet up here, and then I've got my browser across here. And then somebody sends you a smart link, and you paste that smart link into the browser, inside the wallet, and that connects you. That's how you get connected. Now, the good news is, it's only $100 to get started. just $100. For some people, that's a lot of money. I appreciate that. For some people, it's enough money. But there are different tiers. But I like this because our friends and our families from our different countries, $100 is a lot of money. So at least we can help them get started with Daisy. The customer has two choices. They can withdraw the profits whenever they want. Just press the button, the money comes out. We call it trading rewards. They can withdraw any of the trading rewards. Or they can leave inside to compound. And the power of compounding is far better than taking out the daily rewards. You see, this industry has been destroyed with cryptocurrency programs. It's been destroyed with passive programs, 1% a day programs. And the people keep taking the money out. Why? Why do the people keep taking the money out? Because they don't trust it. Because they think it's going to collapse. And that's why they've got used to taking the money out all the time. But that's not what the wealthy people do. The wealthy people understand when you have a genuine program, that when your principal and your profit works together, it makes bigger money. It grows bigger and faster when you can compound. So I just want to show you for one moment what my goal is. You see, I put in 102,300 tier 10 contribution. And you know that 70% goes to the trading account and 30% goes to the crowd side. And this is the same as institutional trading. If I was a bank and I go to Dr. Anna Becker and I say, I have $10 million, can you guys make this work for me? And I would speak to Dr. Anna Becker and she would say, okay, yes, how long do you want the fund to last? What type of rewards do you need? And we would discuss a strategy. And she says, okay, I recommend splitting your 10 million into 10 algorithms. We have a high risk one, we have a low risk one, and we'll put most of it in the middle. How does that sound? I go, great, let's do that. Now she will charge me 20% in normal, no, she won't. She does 12.5%. Endotech charged 12.5%. So to do $10 million, she would charge $1,125,000 to set that up. There's a fee. And if you deal with any other company, not Endotech, they charge 20% to set up a trading account like this. So if you put in $100,000, they would charge you $20,000. They would also take 20% off your profit when you're taking it out. That's how it works. It's called the 20-20 rule. But with the Daisy fund, it's 70% goes to the trading and 30% goes to the crowd. So if Dr. Anna Becker, you saw my account, she's already made me $15,000 in 13 days. I made $15,000 in 13 days. I'm on target for 300,000. But if she gets 100%, look at this. My 100,000 is worth 140,000, and I don't have to worry about this. That's 40% profit, 40%. You cannot get that in real estate. If you're in the real estate business, if we speak to any of the millionaires or multimillionaires or in Japan or in any country, they're getting 10%, probably about 10% on real estate. If you're in the gold business, you're getting about 10%. But here, if she only makes 100%, I make 40%. If she gets 200% profit in the year, I turn 100,000 into 280,000. That's 200%. If she gets 300%, look how much money I'm making without working. $500,000. Passive. And that means this side doesn't matter. But of course it does, because I'm a networker. I can build the teams as well, because this is the team side. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to go back and show you guys the other side of Daisy, what happens, the other portion of the money. So we know one part goes to trading, the other part goes to building the crowd. So there are 10 tiers of contribution. The first one is $100. A smart contract will send 50% to Binance to be traded, and the other 50% will go to the crowd. You will also get one share in 5% equity of Endotech's company when it goes to the stock market. For those people that can afford another $200, then the total contribution would be $300. It's the same program. 50% will go to the trading account, 50% goes to the crowd, and you get more stock in Endotech. If somebody can afford another $400, then they do $700. The same rule applies. The smart contract is hard-coded. 50% goes to the trading wallet, 50% goes to the marketing side. You get more stock. And that happens down to tier 7, where the total contribution for tier 7 is $12,700, and it's still that 50-50 rule. But there's a thick black line here that I put on the slide, because something different happens when it goes to tiers 8, 9, and 10. Because now 70%, like my account, goes to the trading instead of 50%. That's far better for you when 70% is trading instead of 50%. But if you can't afford to go past the black line, I can show you how to get the money to upgrade using the crowd side, okay? So you can use your profits from the trading or your profits from building the community to upgrade later if you wish. So this is not necessary, but for those people that want to help build the community, we have a very rewarding structure. It's a piece of software. It's called 3x10 matrix. Just a piece of software, very simple. On the first generation of your matrix, there are 3 empty locations. And if you share this with 3 people, they will fill the first 3 positions. That's how it works. If you have a 4th person, or a 5th, or a 10th person, they cannot go here because that real estate is sold. That's gone. They must spill over. They must go behind these 3 and go on to your 2nd generation. There are only 9 positions on the 2nd generation of the software. You are entitled to 4% of these people's contributions. You earn 4% of their contributions and 4% of their contributions. Now, why is it in a gold rectangular box? Because if you have an upline or an active upline or an active upline that's building your team, in fact, the deeper you are, the better, because there's a chance probably of what we call spillover. If you have good leaders above you that are actively building, sometimes, if you're lucky, these people can fall into your network and you don't know who they are. You still benefit from the 4% if this is spillover volume, because there is 0 requirement from you to earn this money if it's spillover. Now, I made a rule for Daisy. I explained it to the founders, they went to the coders, they wrote it in. And the rule is this: in the first 48 hours of everybody registering with Daisy, you're qualified for all the commissions. Even with no people, you're qualified for the first 48 hours of your contract. After 48 hours, these rules apply. You still benefit from any spillover on the first 2 generations, but if you want to get paid on the 3rd generation, you must help the crowd. You must help develop the crowd if you want this commission. If you don't want it, then you can just be passive. If you want it, then you get active. So you need to share this with 3 people. and the total contribution has to be $1,000. That means you get paid 3% on these 27 contributions. You probably don't know who these people are. If you qualify for the 4th generation, you get paid on these 81 contributions, etc., down to tier 10. If you want to be on generation 10, not tier 10, generation 10. If you want to be qualified for the 10th generation, you need 24 directs and a total contribution of $128,000. That means you've opened up your potential for 59,000 rewards, 59,000 payments at 4%. You see, these 59,000 payments at 4% will be a lot more than your 3 at 4%. And that's the beauty of the matrix. As the community grows, you can earn lots of commission the deeper it goes. And some people say, well, $128,000 is a lot of volume. If you introduced me, I did 102, and I'm only one person. That means the other 23 people does whatever the difference is, 26,000 between them. Now you can have 25 people, 26 people, 50, doesn't matter. Minimum 24, minimum 128. In my first day, I did 24 people and 149,000 of volume because my 100,000 didn't count for me. My 100,000 didn't count for me in this structure, it counted for my sponsor. So I had to do this as well. So I brought in $149,000 in the first day. So I was more than qualified and the 24 people. And that gave me what's called the Pacesetter bonus. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Now imagine everybody just did $100. Let's say we don't get any big clients. Let's say everybody just says, I like this idea. I like the idea of AI. I like the idea of robotic trading. I like the idea that maybe this company, when it goes to the stock market, wow, I could do well. I'd like to get some shares, equity in the company, because that's what we're doing. We are contributing to new AI, and we are contributing because we're going to get equity in the company. That's why we're doing this. So if everybody just did $100 and we fill this matrix, you will make $344,000 and you only started with $100. And that means the little guy can become the big guy if he wants to build a network. Now, on a spreadsheet, these numbers are perfect. On a calculator, these numbers are perfect. But in a real world, you and I, we're not perfect. Some people are busy. Some people are lazy. Some people cannot take rejection. Some people work for 2 weeks and then stop. So in the real world, the mathematics is different. If everybody just found 3 people, then it's perfect. If you find 3 in March, let's say in the month of March, you found 3 people, and we help them the next month find 3, April, and they find 3 in May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. By the end of this year, if everybody pulled their weight, if everybody went to work, we could fill this systematically, strategically. Have you got your 3? No, you've only got 2. Okay, let's help you find one more. Have you got your 3? Yes, I have my 3. Have you got your 3? I've got nobody. Okay, let's help you. And if we work as a team and build this down systematically, we can fill this. If we do 50%, we make $170,000. We start with $100, we make $170,000 if we do half of this. If we do 10% of this, 10% of the matrix is 8,000 people. I did 800,000 people. I live in a small town of 8,000 people. 10% would pay me $34,000. Now, for lots of people across the world, $34,000 in 1 year is a lot of money. If we look at some countries and they made 34,000, in fact, in some countries, 34,000 is the average national wage. And in these difficult times of COVID, people are worried. They're worried about their future. They're worried about their jobs. They're worried about their careers. Business people are worried about opening their businesses. This is a business from home, part-time on the internet. And the interesting thing is nobody has to talk. I could do the talking for you. You bring the people, I do the work. You don't have to pay me in this team. We work together. Your job is to bring the people, my job is to explain it. And then once we get it translated to multiple languages, once we start creating effective videos, let it launch, then we can start producing high quality videos with professional speakers. I'm not a professional speaker, I'm just me. But once we get that proper imagery and video content, we can send this right around the world. Now, of course, the $100 contribution is very small. Lots of people will do more than that. So I've calculated here tiers 1 to 7. If this community that we build upgrades to tiers 1 to 7, you make $43 million. 43 million. And if we teach this community to upgrade 8, 9, and 10, if we help them, you see, this network moves down generations and across tiers. Down generations and across the tiers, 100, 200, 400, 800. So if we can help them go tiers 8, 9, and 10, look what happens here, 8, 9, and 10. 154 million plus the 43 million. The total possibility in the matrix is $198 million. Now that makes this, look like nothing. And now this seems to be the good side. But just 1 minute ago, for the passive guy, because not everybody wants to do network marketing. Not everybody wants to do events. Not everybody is interested in sales. So lots of people can have fun here, and then lots of people can have even more fun over here. Because I made $38,000 the first day Daisy started. $38,000 in 1 day on this side. And now I'm making, on the passive side, about $15,000. I've got more than half my money back, and it hasn't even started. Why? Because I go to work. I do 7 of these every day. Well, between 4 and 7. I do them all day. This is early morning for me. I will do another one at lunchtime, another one in the afternoon, another one at tea time, 3 in the evening, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. I will do one into the United States at 1 a.m. I just present, or train. Presentations or training. So here I've done a calculation for the first 3 tiers. Some communities can't afford any more. Maybe 100, 200, and 400. $700 contribution. It's very simple, the maths. If the first $100 matrix can make you 344, then the second one can make you 688. It's double. 200 and 100 is double. Commission is double. The 400 matrix is double. It's double of this one. 688, double because it's twice the contribution. Same maths, same commission, double the money. The total profitability of the first 3 matrices is $2.4 million. So if we take this to a country that cannot afford the big packages, and we focus on the small packages, we can show them how to make 2.4. And I have a training that shows the people how to build a 3x10 matrix. So some of the people like this as well. I want to talk about 2 more bonuses. You also get 5% on any direct contribution that you bring. So if you share this with me and I make this contribution, you make $5,000 on top of $4,000 because, well, if you introduce me, you get 5% plus 4% if you put me on your first generation. Now, let's say the first generation is Phil and you bring me. You still get 5% of that plus 4, that's 9% if you put me on your second generation. If this first and the second are full, then you've got to put me on the third generation. Down here, you still get 5 plus 3. The commissions are fantastic. It's 34% plus 5% is 39% payout. On top of that, you get 10% of my matrix money. So what I made was I made $38,000 in one day. You would have made $3,800 if you picked up the phone and called me and showed me Daisy. So wherever you introduce, you get 10% of their matrix. Now here's the deal. If you're in the first 5 matrices and I'm in the first 5 matrices, you get 10% of my 5 matrix. But if I upgrade to number 6 and you decide to stay down in 5, then you don't get the 10% in the 6th. So you must be in the same matrices as me to get the same 10%. And the good news is these bonuses are paid out instantly. They're not sitting in a wallet. They're not sitting in a bank. They're not sitting on an exchange. These bonuses are paid out in 3 seconds. It's wallet to wallet, peer to peer, instant payment on the Tron blockchain. The smart contract executes this immediately, meaning nobody can run away with the money. And that's why we like smart contracts. A smart contract cannot come into work late tomorrow. It cannot get a headache and say, I can't work. A smart contract can't go to sleep. A smart contract works 24/7. A smart contract cannot get pregnant. A smart contract can't buy a Lamborghini. A smart contract cannot make a wrong decision when coded. And that's why we like this, because we've got the internet of trust. The blockchain is transparent and trustworthy. And that means the only one we have to trust is Endotech, because that's where 50% or 70% of the money is. This side is perfect. Nobody can run away with our money. And that's why I love this project. Instant, transparent payments. And that brings us to the Pacesetter bonus. There are about 3 or 4 different parts to the Pacesetter. Let's take them through. The first one is whatever you do in your first 30 days, the smart contract unlocks the next generation in your matrix. So let me give you an example. Let's say once we start, you've got 30 days. And let's say in 30 days, you only share this with 3 people, that's all. And the total contribution was $1,000. Okay, that's all you did. The smart contract will say, congratulations. I'm going to unlock generation 4 so you can get the commissions here as well. It opens up one more level. Whatever you do in 30 days, the next level opens up for you. That's very fair. So you set the pace. It's like a bicycle race. In a bicycle race, they send a pace setter out to try and get the pack to get the time up. If they're going for a world record, they get a pace setter in there to go fast. So whatever you do in your first 30 days, the next level is open. So let's go down to generation 9. To qualify for generation 9, you need 21 directs and $64,000 of contribution. If you do that in your first 30 days, the 10th generation opens up for life. You get paid on these 59,000 contributions, even though you didn't qualify. So the Pacesetter just opens the next generation. Okay, that's the first part. The second part is more interesting. The second part is for those people that introduce 24 directs with a total contribution of $128,000. okay? If you can do 24 directs and $128,000 in contribution, then you make gold Pacesetter. And now your life changes. Why? Because now you get paid a share in 1.8% of every single contribution in the world. Everybody I bring, you get paid. Everybody Jeremy brings, you get paid. Edward brings, you get paid. Every leader in the world, every person in the community. We already have 50,000 people. If 50,000 people bring one person on day one, you get 50,000 payments on day one. This is what I call global spillover. This is what I work with my team. I'm putting in 6 Pacesetters. Michael, if you want to be one, join the team. Let's do it. So it's amazing, this Pacesetter bonus, because you're getting paid upline, downline, crossline, sideline. But you only have 24 people. That's a small team. It's worth doing. It's worth not sleeping to make sure you go gold Pacesetter. Because what else happens is you get 5% in Endotech's equity. She's giving 10%. 5% goes to everybody, and the other 5% is for the Pacesetters. This is a big bonus. And you get 1.25% of all the withdrawals. 1.25% of all the withdrawals, guys. That's amazing. You see, I believe the 1.25% will be worth more than the 1.8. So, in the first day, the Daisy community brought in $20 million. Now, in the next 3 days, it brought in another 30 million. Another 30 million came in after this, but in the first day, it was just 20 million contribution. And we know that there are 2 pools. There's the gold Pacesetter and there's the leadership Pacesetter bonus. There's 2 bonuses, the gold and the leadership. There is 1.8% goes into each of these pools. 1.8%. So 1.8% of 20 million is $360,000. $360,000. That means in both of these pools, there's $360,000. 1.8% goes in this one, 1.8% goes into here. You have to decide, am I going in here? Or am I going in here? Or are you doing both? I have chosen to do both. You can say, I don't want in here. I'll take my time and get into this one. This is easier. Or I'll just do this one and I'll not do this one. Or I will do both. Let me show you the potential. In the first day, there were 80 people who did this. I was one of them. That means 80 into 360 means I made $4,500 in my first day just from this one bonus. Just from this one bonus. I made 38,000 in total, but 4,500 came from the Pacesetter. But the next day, there was more money come in. There was more than this came in because there was another 30 million came in. This is just the first day. So it's very important to try and qualify for this, because in Daisy, we're bringing in 500 million. So as the money comes, you get paid on every contribution. And how do you qualify? Well, I think it's easy. It's 24 directs with a total contribution of $128,000. That's what you need to do in 30 days. So what we can do this week, before we pre-launch, we can start getting ready. We can start getting on a piece of paper your 24 people. Then you can write down this contribution, $100, this contribution, $100, this contribution, $12,000. Oh, I need more. This contribution, $1,000. And you can start working towards creating this. So on day one, when we launch, you're now equal to me. In one day, if you put the work in now, you will be equal. We are equal because you're getting the Pacesetter and I'm getting the Pacesetter. You've caught up with me. If you put the work in now. You see, I didn't sleep. I slept for 4 hours a day, because I knew I wanted to do this and nobody was going to stop me. Nobody. I just worked and worked and worked and worked. Now I don't have to work because I get paid on every contribution and because the trading is giving me 1,000 a day. If you work hard for a period of time, then the pressure's off. But of course, I'm not that type of person because I did not qualify for this one. I only qualified for this one. If I had known how good this was, I would have qualified. But this one is better because there was only 6 people did this. And these 6 people made $63,000 in the first day. These 6 people earned $60,000 the first day. So how do you qualify for this one? It's easy. All you need is to introduce 3 people that do that. If you can introduce 3 people that do that, you get into this one. Now, I only introduced 1 person that did it. Marcus and Saki is going to be number 2, and I have 4 more. I'm doing this twice because every three that does that, you get another share. So when you have 3, you get 1 share in here. When you have 6, you get 2. When you have 9 people that do that, you get 3 shares. And that's the Pacesetter bonus. Very, very powerful bonus. And that brings us to the last bonus, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the Pacesetter, 24 directs, 128,000. You get these benefits. But the bigger benefit is this. The bigger benefit is you also get paid on the withdrawals. Now, the withdrawals pays 1.25%. 1.25%. Do you realize that the withdrawals will be bigger than the contributions? The withdrawals will be far bigger than the contribution. How do I know? There was my contribution. This will be my withdrawals. Because the trading makes more money, the withdrawals will be larger than the contributions. So that 1.25% of everybody withdraws in the world, every client that takes money out, you get paid. Here and here, 1.25%. This, I believe, will be bigger than this. But we haven't witnessed that yet. So let's finish our presentation today. That's how I explain the Pacesetter one, the gold one. The leadership one is very easy because in the leadership one, you just need 3 people. You need 3 people to do gold. You make leadership. And the last bonus, ladies and gentlemen, is our residual bonus. So now you get paid as people withdraw money. Compounding is considered the 8th wonder of the world. When your principal and your profit works together, that's the power of compounding. And if you can find an honest program, a real program, with verified trading by KPMG, with a real technology that works, a good honest program that compounds your money, instead of all of these scams on the internet, then you found a great business. So the 8th wonder of the world is compounding your own money. But the 9th wonder of the world is when you benefit from the compounding effect of others. In other words, when I withdraw my $500,000 and you introduce me, you get 3.5% on my withdrawal. So you can get paid on the withdrawals at 3.5% on your front line, 1% on the second level, And now you're getting paid on the compounding effect of other people's money, OPM, other people's money, not just yours. Your contribution makes you the money on your money, but now OPM. Michael, what do we know about that, my friend? Yeah. So, what I would suggest you do, if you're new to this, download the Tron Link wallet, get some Tron on there, $100, send Michael $10, get Michael to send it back to you, send Daniel $10, get Daniel to send it back, start getting familiar with the application, start accumulating your Tron to make the right contribution, start doing webinars with me, 1 or 2 every day. Let's build a team to get you Pacesetter on day 1, and let's start changing people's lives. Thank you very much. Presentation over.